because she gets irritated. Whatever irritates Kym, I like to do. Funny mamas. So keep that happening.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Two Funny Mamas. I'm Kym Whitley.
And I am Sherri Shepherd. Good morning. Hey.
Good. Hey, just say hey. I think that's all you have to say is hello. We just, are very happy to be here to our listeners and to our viewers today. Hey, Chris, you here?
Before
Hey,
he does the intro, I think he's going to talk about.
Is my head bigger than yours? Okay, go ahead.
No, your head is not bigger than mine.
You're looking at a weird camera point, Kym. Look to your...
Because we're doing, I think we need to tell the viewers and the listeners, we had a lot of technical difficulties. This is starting about an hour late because somehow just, life just hit you. You have technical difficulties. So we're doing the podcast on Kym's cell phone, which is if our heads look weird, if half of our necks are cut off, it's because we're literally on the cell phone. We're trying to do this podcast in between Kym's cable guy calling, the dog on Postmates calling, Joshua messaging, because every time Joshua sends a message, we just disappear. Yes. So we're going to try to do this before he texts going, Mom, I'm locked in the bathroom.
Right. And Chris says I'm looking at the phone because I'm not.
Look here.
Were you looking there?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So I know to look in the camera over there. I like looking at myself, but you really like looking at yourself.
I do. But before we have our guest on, who Chris is going to read, there was something I want to ask you. With COVID going around, and we're both so close, we both have taken our COVID tests. We get tested multiple times during the week, and so we're both negative. With that said, because we're really together on the cell phone.
I'm going to give you this paper.
Okay, this is Kym's COVID test. Okay, first of all, this is just the instructions on how to access to get your COVID results. Where are the results? I sent you mine on the cell phone, and it said negative. This is just, it's got a SKU number and everything. Where's the results?
I don't know how to get them.
What do you mean?
But this shows you I went.
Okay, but that just shows you how to log on to get the results. Did you create a password?
But isn't this enough for you?
No, it just means you went. It just means you went.
Oh, God, you're the one coughing.
No, but I got my Oh, jeez, Louise. Here's the problem.
You gonna say prayer?
We talk about this all the time. Stop. No, I'm negative. I should be the one with the mask.
You was negative when you took the test. You took the test yesterday.
And I was negative, and I took a test the day before yesterday, and I was negative. But the problem is we talk about this all the time, and I don't know if y'all have the same problem. Like, what if, God forbid, what if you come up with COVID? Like, what do you do?
We talked about this because we Sherri, we work a lot, and we never, ever thought about this until I spoke to someone who we're going to introduce, and she said to me, what's your COVID plan? I was like,
what is the COVID plan?
What is a COVID plan? I was like, some insurance? What? So that's when we thought about that. What was interesting.
Like a good neighbor, COVID plan is there.
Oh, that was pretty fun. Okay. But
I don't know.
No, she said this is what made it real and why we're having her on the show today. She said that, Kym, you and Sherri are single moms. She said, what are you going to do? If Sherri goes down or you go down, you should have an iPad or your computer in front of you because you're by yourself, that Sherri can check in, turn on the camera and say, you okay? She said, if you answer like this, oh, she did it real well. She was very good at it. She said, that means Sherri's going to be like, okay, 911, or let me get you to the hospital. Because you don't have anybody checking.
Mr. Tiny Lister just passed away he didn't have anybody. So it's when you talk about a COVID plan, I think it's a lot of, I don't think most people think about it, especially if you're single and you don't have anybody, or if you're a mom with kids. So I did want to preface that before Chris.
Right.
So you take it away.
Okay. All right, everyone. So we have a very special guest today. We usually don't have guests, but we are very lucky. We thought this was something important that we wanted to share with the world to help single moms, single dads, and just people in general she's a clinical licensed psychologist, very smart. She helps me through my life. Chris, take it away.
Excellent throw there, Kym. Very professional. Dr. Michele Cooley-Strickland is a licensed clinical psychologist on faculty at UCLA and, wait for it, Johns Hopkins University. She's got a weekly podcast that she hosts, the She Built It podcast with Melanie and Dr. Michele co-author of the Invest in You masterclass. Dr. Michele is a researcher. Ready for this? Ready? We're not done yet. She's written nearly 50 scientific publications and been the principal investigator of multi-million-dollar research studies funded by the National Institutes of Health. Dr. Michele has a private psychology practice called, well, can you guys do a drum roll? Are you guys good at that? There it is. Dr. Michele.
Dr. Michele.
Oh, man. Check her out, guys. We'll put this up as well. Dr. Michele can be found online, Instagram, dr.michele or dr-michele.com. Check her out.
Hello, ladies. So good to be with you.
Hi, Dr. Michele. How are you?
I'm great this Thursday. I'm so glad to be with you, and I appreciate, Chris. It's great to hear you have a voice. I was wondering because I watch you and subscribe to your show. I was like, does he have a face that matches that voice? You know how sometimes people have a voice that is best for radio? No, Chris.
Yes.
Matches his voice.
He does match.
Get out of here. Listen to the doctor. She's listening to this. All right.
You want me to keep talking, ladies? I mean,
I'm sorry.
are you gonna?
I'm helping her. There it is. Okay,
You
I'm
guys
sorry.
got it.
We got it. Michele, okay. So the reason why we definitely wanted you on here, so many things you could help us with. But when we were talking last week, you talked about a COVID plan, and we don't know what that is. And why do you think that is so important? Can you explain to our listening and viewing audience what a COVID plan is?
Sure.
And why we should have one?
Sure. Well, why we should have one is to really think about what's causing you stress and anxiety over this season that we're still in, that we were told initially would only be a really short time, and it's turned into a very, very long time. And a lot of people have stress and anxiety around COVID itself. So the question is why specifically are you stressed out about it? Of course, about the randomness of being able to catch it, but then what's your biggest fear? Your biggest fear in some cases is what would happen to me or my family if I got COVID? Because most of us, heaven forbid, we're not likely going to die from it. I mean, there's of course the chance, which is tremendously scary, but for most people who get COVID, and you two were battling on and on about, well, I got a paper that says I took the test. And Sherri, you're like, well, that doesn't say you don't have it. Everybody has concerns about it. It's so complicated. So what are you really worried about? Are you worried about what's going to happen to me? And if you're a mom or a single mom especially, or if you're single by yourself, how am I going to handle it? So pre-think, what's your strategy? It's like we're always taught, what's your plan if you have a fire in your house? Where are you going to go? What door are you going to use? Here, I'm not from LA. I live in LA. When you get here, you're like, what's your earthquake plan? So you have a plan for those kinds of tragedies, and so this obviously is one that we should have a plan for too.
So, being a single mom with a 9-year-old, and let's just say that I would have my, say I got a positive result. I don't know what's the first thing I would do. And I think that's what you're talking about, right? Like what's the plan? Because you can't, I think it's the loneliness, or you have to sit by yourself. Like, do you have a room in your house? Like, what would you do?
You mean like a plan like for quarantining and stuff like that?
Eat,
how you going to eat?
Who's going to watch
because
you?
Because most times you think, God forbid, if you get COVID, who's going to want to come over and help you?
Nobody.
Except your family. Okay, that's a song. That's a song. Nobody.
Say it. Okay, sing the COVID part, and I'm not. Just do it. You do it, and I'm coming in and say nobody.
I mean, if you get COVID and you catch it, who's gonna come over and help you?
Nobody. What's the next?
It's like,
who's gonna feed you?
The backlash. Okay. Can we just be prepared for the backlash?
Okay, sorry.
Be prepared. I mean, it's just like we need to think like STDs. When you think of STD, nobody wants to have anything to do with you, and you don't want to have anything to do with anybody else.
Are you talking about for a friend?
For a friend, if a friend were to have a situation.
It's quarantine. We're single. You don't want to put STDs on us. That's the trailer Chris will make.
Yeah, use something else. Yeah, use like
Wait.
Like,
That was loaded.
Leprosy, man.
Yeah, use leprosy.
Leprosy. If you had
Tell you
leprosy,
Michele married.
Yeah,
Michelle's married. You're going to throw some STD
DD
analogy at
all
two single women.
What's wrong with her? Okay.
Sorry, the floor is yours.
Go ahead, Michele.
you have to have a plan, because if you got that paper that you were flashing around, I'm negative, and you said, but what if the paper came back and said you're positive? What are you going to do in that immediate moment? So you have to pre-think what you would do if the paper came back and said positive. So that's why you think about not just where will you stay, but who else is in your household. So you both have sons. Where's your son going to go? So where is he going to go? Is he going to stay in the house and you leave? Are you going to stay in your bedroom and quarantine within that? Jeffrey and Joshua are not going to not come into your bedroom. So maybe you have a plan of, okay, well, they will go to another relative immediately. If heaven forbid that I get a positive result, you have a bag packed maybe for them already planned.
Oh.
So you get your go bag, and they're already taken care of. You don't worry about it. It's for 2 weeks. So he has his the plan of all his school materials. Everything's ready to go. You got a plan. That's the COVID plan for your child. Then what about for yourself? Look, were you eye rolling? What? You got to have a plan.
That's a lot already.
I was just saying, this is a lot of work.
A lot of work, man.
Right there with the earthquake preparedness kit.
But when she said the school stuff, that means we'd have to figure out the laptop, oh my God, to make sure.
And then it just sounds like you're looking at Kym, but the work is going to fall on me if she gets
it. The BFF has work to do too. So that's why you work together with somebody and you make a joint plan, right? Because, okay, I'll take Jeffrey if you're positive. You take Joshua if I'm positive. So that takes care of your kids. And then you have a plan for yourself.
How long I got to have Joshua?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
14 days?
No.
I got to have her son?
And I'm going to, it might be a couple months, because you never know what,
does he still play with matches?
Sometimes, Sherri. Just put all the matches up. Okay?
Okay, so 14. So that's where I take if Kym.
But who's going to, okay, so we got the kids straight. Then what about us? Like, who's going to feed us?
Have you heard of Instacart? So set up a plan. So depending on what resources you have, right?
Okay.
If you have the means, then you set up a food delivery plan service. So Instacart is one that comes to mind. Your grocery stores deliver, but you should, when you're making your COVID plan, set up an account. You don't have to use it. I know everybody, Kym, I know you live by Instacart. I don't use Instacart because I'm a Costco-aholic. I love to go to the grocery store, even in the middle of this. I wear gloves and I wear a mask. I've been known to put on a hat just to keep, as much COVID away. But, but I'm not an online grocery shopper. So I set up, when I did my COVID plan, I set up an Instacart just in case, heaven forbid, that I get COVID too. Same thing with your pharmacy. So have your pharmacy have the ability to get your pharmaceuticals online, because you're going to need some drugs. So have that. So list for your COVID emergency plan buddy. List what your pharmacy is, where it is, the phone number. List your grocery store where you prefer to shop, and list your insurance information, because heaven forbid you did the look. How you doing, Kym?
That's
you got
true.
to know and have insurance information and the preferred hospital, and have your doctor's information on there. So the other thing that I would say is that, again, depending on the resources you have, there are concierge doctors, MDs, and concierge nurses, RNs, who will come and make either video visits or home visits. So we've moved to that. And all you have to do is Google concierge nurse or concierge doctor. The issue is, of course, you're going to pay for that. But at least, even if you have public health care, you still have work out where you would go and who your providers are with your COVID emergency plan buddy.
And then how you get there? Like if you feel like you can't breathe, how do you get to the hospital? Because ain't nobody driving you. See, that's what I'm saying. It's a mess.
Well, they're also, some of the car services have medical care car services. So they're another level of car service. So you can look those up. I mean, I'm telling you, everything.
But have the information.
It's about having information, and I specialize in anxiety disorders. And the issue is, if you feel anxiety, stress, tension, analyze, why do I feel that way? What am I thinking? What am I truly worried about? And then to combat the anxiety is the action. Okay, I'm worried about what's going to happen to my kid. Okay, make a plan. I'm worried about how I would get somewhere. Okay, well, there's a thing called Google, and you can figure out how you're going to do that.
Okay, all of that is...
I think it's very helpful because people don't like to think about it. But if you get it out of the way and it's done, of who can come and help you and how, what's going to happen to your kids, then at least that it's just out of the way. You're not thinking about, because a friend of mine got COVID. And so I remember that his whole family, we all took a day and ordered him some food from Instacart. And then we put together some money and got him a refrigerator because he had to quarantine. So his room was in the garage. So we bought him a refrigerator freezer off of Amazon, all of us, and had it put in his garage. So all of the food that came from Instacart, he was able to go. He knew that the delivery was coming at 9 because he had a full family in the house. And he would go and get it in the morning and put it right in his freezer and refrigerator. And he had a microwave in there. So like everybody just sprang to action because he kind of had a plan. So it was just like boom, boom.
Because our rooms are on the second floor. That was another thing. Because I feel like I can't carry my big behind up the steps now. Now you want me to go down and get some food and I can't breathe? It's going to be over. So I have got to be able to, I got a couple hazmat suits that I'll leave at the door, put them on, bring up the refrigerator or something, because I can't imagine. I really got to figure out.
Isn't that what you use for your role play? Sorry, doctor.
This is so okay. What do you okay? We got the COVID plan, but what do you feel about, like, I was really feeling like I'm hiding from death. I'm running from death after Tiny Liston died, after Natalie Lister and Natalie DeSalle and
Natalie DeSalle.
Yeah. Why are you correcting me on everybody's name? I know their names. Okay, two people died.
That's my anxiety. Like everything has to be perfect. That's my anxiety.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
What how do we deal with this fear?
The fear is real, right? Because there's so much unknown. A lot of times, as I was saying before, the unknown, that what's not controllable, what is random, what could happen, it's all about the potential dangers that could happen to us. So think about what you can control, because we can't control when the Grim Reaper comes for anybody. We can't control that, but we can control how easy we make it for him to arrive at our doorstep. And that is not to do things that are put yourself at high risk. You guys have been very good about limiting your social interactions, and because you care so much. I mean, you get tested all the time because you work. I mean, we've in this country have categorized people into essential and non-essential workers, which is, some of those are really clear, and then others not so much. People have to pay their bills. You still have to work. So what do? You take precautions as much as necessary. And so worrying about whether your time is up or not is not a real healthy focus. A healthier focus is on, how am I going to honor the people I have lost? How am I going to make the most of the time that I have now on this planet? And so that's where you put your focus, not on things that you can't control, but things that perhaps give you a brighter vision. And I think importantly to focus on give yourself hope. Like, what can we do? If you have a relative who you can't visit because they're 80 years old and you feel really badly because we're 1 week away from Christmas Eve, what are you going to do? Okay, I would love to take a trip with them. That's what I would love to do. If in a perfect world, we could take a trip. So make a slide presentation and share it with them as their Christmas present. Like, this is when we're able to do this, this is where I'm going to take you, Grandpa. Or
oh, nice. Okay, great. What about Sherri's lonely vagina?
So, do you remember the credits? Doctor at UCLA at Johns Hopkins. I love that this is great. Two funny mamas. Good stuff, Kym.
Do you specialize in that as well?
I'm the head up. The waist down. You all need another
because if you
guest.
are, we could talk. I was a little taken aback, but if you are, I don't want to waste time being shocked. Let's get to it.
Because we are touch starved, doctor. I know we were supposed to be talking
that
about
is anxiety.
a COVID plan, but
it's a valid one, because we are made up of our emotions, our mental state, our spiritual state, and our sexual state. So unless all four of those domains are being taken care of, we feel out of balance. So there are all kinds of things that we have been given. You're big on the internet. There are all kinds of services that are provided that if you're over 18 and consenting, that you may engage in, whether you're in quarantine or not. There, Sherri.
Told you, Chris.
What kind of doctor do we have on as a guest?
Dr. Michele.
Dr. Michele, she keep it real.
Here I am over here thinking that you're going to ask how like the anxiety can be married to hypertension and like the tips for the listeners and everything. No, we're getting straight to the good stuff. Go keep it up.
Is that legal, what your doctor is suggesting?
Listen, 18 and older and consenting adults. And let me tell you, physiologically, if you address kind of your stress physiologically, that's going to decrease your stress in all kinds of body parts. So if you feel a need and a desire to focus on one particular body part, listen, it'll help your brain too.
This is the question. And for our younger viewers and listeners, you may want to turn this off because I really want to know. Does masturbation and orgasms lower like your cortisol? Lower your stress levels when you have an orgasm?
Well, I'm going to answer it this way. Any kind of stress reliever, be it physical or emotional, feeds your emotional health, right? So if you are cardiovascular, exercise is good for you because there's a release of stress and tension. You learn how to regulate your body better, like great breathing. And if you're having masturbation and orgasms, then your breathing is deeper and more regulated. So that's going to have positive effects.
Right.
So
that'll help your COVID
Sherri.
too. She said, keep at it, Sherri. But that'll help your COVID because I need deeper breathing.
All right.
But is there a certain
right.
age you should stop masturbating? Not that this was part of the program, but I'm thinking
no upper limits. There's no upper limits. Have you
the
ever
reason why is
to,
because I had 2 orgasms one time and I almost had a stroke.
Yep.
Like, because I think my heart stopped and then it started back up.
And you still remember that out of all the orgasms that you possibly have,
because
you
that second
remember
one,
that
oh my
double.
God, I got a toy from Niecy Nash.
Do we have to go into what the thing is?
I'm sorry.
I think that's the point of the conversation, is going into it. Continue, Sherri.
Okay, so you got this toy and it was
I got a toy and it's
No, let me preface this by this, Doc. She ain't never been a masturbator. That's the problem. You got to ease into that kind of lifestyle. So her friend gave her this toy. She ain't never done it really before. So she got something and it almost killed her. Let's just say
it did.
Don't
The first
we
orgasm
all
was
wish
amazing.
to die happy? So how bad was
Well, I
that?
wasn't trying to die. That was the
but
point.
you
Was
almost
just,
did.
but it literally. I think I blacked out for a hot second. So to double orgasms scared me a little bit.
maybe
We have
with more
digressed.
practice. Kym was saying
This is
how
so
you
good.
were out of practice. So maybe with increased practice, it's not such a shock to your system. But
That's true.
pleasure, and like I say again, to consenting adults, when is pleasure a bad thing?
Okay. I like this.
Okay, right. This is good. So the biggest thing about a COVID plan, and when you say get a COVID buddy, I'm trying to
How
take
do
us
you go
back
back
because I didn't know how to get out of
masturbation
it.
back to
I didn't know how to get out of it.
You go, thank you.
Right. I didn't. Okay.
You you can't go back to COVID, buddy.
Okay.
I was gonna say I need some
orgasms.
There's got to be a buffer. I've turned into like a 7th grader in the boys' locker room, like listening to this.
Yes, after this is like, thank you, Dr. Michele. We've gone through the whole range of anxiety.
We did go through some anxiety. We've learned some good things.
Yeah,
so we want to thank our guests. Is there anything that you want to say, Dr. Michele, to wrap it up or anything?
Yeah, one more thing about, I love how you build community, and that's your listeners. I'm a viewer, really love the show that you have because you connect with people. And I liked how you gave the example of how you all chipped in. So one day for your friend who had COVID, one day somebody did one day. And I suggest not just having one COVID buddy, but having a community so that just as you chipped in to buy the refrigerator, maybe you could all chip in and buy a refrigerator, freezer, and also buy a microwave so that whoever has COVID gets to use it at the time. So you're not busy trying to find out who's got $5, who's got $6. I only have 50 cents to chip in at the time that you already, again, it's pre-thinking what's going to happen. And maybe you pre-assign, okay, I'll take Mondays and Wednesdays for food delivery or to check on Johnny who's got COVID, so that you make it a community. That's what I recommend.
Oh, fantastic.
Before we say goodbye to Dr. Michele, I am curious, do you just have a few, because you're specializing in anxiety, right? Everybody deals with that. It's weird times, all those things. Do you just have a quick couple, 3 tips that listeners can kind of look out for themselves and others? Because like what you're saying is so true. This stuff marries. If you get in I get scared about that too, because if you have dread and it's physically affecting you and the mental side is actually marrying with those issues, do you just have a quick, hey guys, look out for this, this, and this?
Sure. So, hey guys, look out for when
we just treat you so bad.
She's got chops, man. This is great.
Yeah, she's got good.
I've been hanging out with you know who for a little bit. So one thing is to really make self-assessments and find out where you are, because a lot of times we can shift off of center, and before we know it, we realize we are way far from what's normal for us. So I want you to do regular check-ins with yourself. How am I feeling? So one of the things that I do is when I feel stress or anxiety or don't feel myself, I'm like, why do I feel this way? What is going on in my life so that I feel like poop, or I feel stressed out, or I feel anxious, or I feel depressed? What is going on specifically? And talk specifically with yourself. Okay, I'm worried about X, Y, or Z. Okay, that's a plan. When you have worry, that's a trigger that you need a plan, an action plan. So tie into yourself. Another is, honestly, exercise. Exercise helps to regulate your body. Now, we've talked about the type of exercise that Sherri has an interest in. We all should be interested in that, quite frankly, especially women. We don't speak enough about it. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it because it's our bodies. We need to be good to our entire bodies. That's not just sexually, especially in COVID. You got to work out a lot of things for yourself because we're not doing a lot of interactions with people. Another thing is physical exercise, is that you've got to stress your body so you can learn how to control and regulate it, whatever that is for you. Some people can't walk outside because it's too cold or it's not safe enough, but you can certainly jog in place or exercise, and there's all kinds of apps online. But the physical health, the sleep, is also about having a routine to keep yourself sleeping healthy. I scold my clients and say, don't use the bed for anything but for sleeping. It's not to lay in the bed and watch TV, because or be on your phone and doing all kinds of things, because when it comes time to go to sleep, your body is not used to associating the bed with sleep. So only sleep
where are
in
you
the bed.
where are you supposed to do it? If you can't use the if you can't use the bed,
not all the time. She was saying don't let your body
TV,
get comfortable to the bed.
electronics.
For like TV. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
You
okay.
are really
Okay. I
singularly
misunderstood.
focused.
I misunderstood. Sorry. I was like,
you need
what?
to be
You know,
comfortable.
We older. You can't be
she
using the
acting
kitchen
like,
counter.
No, but you trying to act like you doing it all the time.
I mean, I'm not doing it at all. It's been a couple of years.
Thank you.
I'm speaking for people who are doing it.
Well,
can they do it in the bed all the time, or is that throwing their sleep off?
because
that creates melatonin, doesn't
for
it?
our backs and bodies, and for positioning, that provides the most options. But it is using for restful activities, using the bed only, but don't associate it with television watching or doing your work, or
but you can't associate it. You can associate it with a good time, though.
With the good time, yes, definitely. And more is encouraged. Let me tell you, women need more of those activities, whether it's self-induced or with a healthy consenting partner, because we are still breathing and living, and God made us to have great receptors, and we need to use them more frequently.
That's what I keep telling.
I've been calling myself a receptor for a while.
Michele, I keep telling this receptor. I keep telling we got a girlfriend who's like, she's been celibate for like 37 years.
Yes.
And I said, you got to put something in there. It's gonna be like a rusty gate.
It's
like
already a rusty
gate.
You
know on the Wiz when he says, slide some oil to me, let it slip down my spine. Like you can't. If you celibate for like 30 years, you need a lubricant. Like you need something there.
I love that we
because your body starts to shrink in, and if you don't have it,
you are a really good friend, and I think the best way to teach is by modeling and sharing what it is, and having conversations about what works.
Okay, I don't want to model for her. She'd be a hoe.
She might turn into her.
I don't want to model nothing for her
because she'll go crazy.
You model what's healthy. Model what's healthy. So you're like, Christmas is like I said, a week away. They're gifts. You got a gift. Look what you did with your gift. You can give gifts.
Yeah,
you can share websites.
That double tap that you have. Send it.
Maybe I'll buy her something.
That's a good idea because
I don't want to be the only one with Bell's palsy after having a second orgasm.
You can compare stories.
Kim's flying to St. Louis in April to get hers fixed.
That's right. Okay, don't tell her.
Love is in the air.
But we've learned, these are two great words we've learned in 2020. And Dr. Michele, you've given us one, receptor, and Jada gave us entanglement.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go. I can drop the mic now.
Thank you, Dr. Michele.
Thank you, Dr. Michele.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Her
I hope you'll have me back.
Absolutely. Your information is below right there. And Chris, you're going to put her information, of course.
You didn't sound real confident when you said, of course. It's like there's like a comma, ... Of course? Yes, absolutely. Go visit Dr.
Where can we
Michele.
find you, Dr. Michele? How about that?
I am. My website is DocTor Michele.com. I have to spell it because most people just put DR and put Michelle with 2 L's. I was born in France,
2 L's,
so there's 1 L. Yep, 1 L for Michelle.
And what's your podcast? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell us.
And Instagram at Dr.Michele. And my podcast it's very long. You guys are smart with 3 words. My podcast is very long. It's the She Built It podcast with Melanie and Dr. Michele. The She Built It podcast with Melanie and Dr. Michele. And we air every Tuesday, so we're not even competing with you guys. So you can listen to us on Tuesday and you on Thursdays.
Right. And hers is nice and short and sweet.
No, it's not. She built it with Michele. It's not. What are you
not her
about?
Title, but her podcast is only 20 minutes.
Because it's informative. It's not entertainment.
How do you know? You ain't even heard her podcast.
It's edutainment. It's educational and entertaining.
Edutainment.
There you go.
Ours is edutainment today.
And we loved it.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Michele.
Thank you, Dr. Michele.
How great was she? Where did Kym, real quick, thanks to Dr. Michele, she's a pro. I was like, hey, how do you know Kym? She was like, a mutual acquaintance. And I was like, Oprah, who is it? Who's a mutual acquaintance? I was laughing. I was like, it's got to be Oprah or somebody fun.
I'm not telling you.
Oh!
She's very, Chris, you know she's not going to sit and Nate. Because
Kym's
you got to call me later.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
Call me later this week. She was very nice and she was very informative. I was very embarrassed because we started so late with her.
We did start.
Like, we never have technical difficulties that keep us off the grid.
We're on my cell phone.
We're on the podcast.
It looks so good too, though. I'm actually upset at how good this looks on your phone.
But it's hard because we got to look at this bar over here.
That's my new phone.
Like, it's because your phone is amazing.
But it's good. Your phone is not raggedy.
I know,
see what Chris said? My great phone? Her phone is all cracked and raggedy.
So messed up.
Won't answer nothing.
I can't listen to it without earbuds.
She's a celebrity and she has 7 jobs and her phone, she can't answer her phone. It's got cracks on the screen. She can't use voice to text. It does nothing. It's booty.
Sherri, your rebuttal.
Yes.
I can't argue with it. That literally.
No, you had a good rebuttal earlier. You just can't remember.
I said, it's life. It happens. Life happens. It hits us in the butt. I'm horny. What am I gonna do? Life just happens.
That's my breakfast.
Is that cheese?
Sure.
I'm so hungry.
It was like a little kid where it's like, see, this is my toy. This is my breakfast. See what I get.
I know, it's so crazy. It's like, I'm glad we had a guest on. She was very understanding of us, and
because it's scary.
It's very scary because you don't think, because I told you when I got that false positive, I freaked out so bad because I was like, oh my gosh, who do I gotta call?
She called me. I sprayed my whole body with Lysol. I let a little bit in my mouth.
Maybe that got your brain back.
I did.
You got a little bit in your mouth.
Okay. All right.
Oh my. But it's true. It's very scary because it can happen to anybody.
Yes.
You read the article John sent us?
No, I didn't read it yet.
Read it. The man said, I don't know where I got the COVID from. He said, I've been so safe. But he said, I could have been in the grocery store and I walked into somebody's sneeze. Look at that. He said, I have a mask on, but he didn't have goggles on. You just got to be careful. And I really think about my house. If I get a positive right this second, I go up to my room and then what? First of all, I hate my bed. But
okay, I'm not even no sympathy.
I'm going right now. I'm going to get a bed today. I'm going to go get it today.
You've been trying to talking about a mattress for a year. And this is the problem. Why I told you to get a Christmas tree. You don't commit. Just make the commitment and get it.
That's why I've been engaged a bunch of times.
I know.
How many times?
Through. Like 5.
Oh, so I didn't.
Like, she doesn't follow through. So, and she talks about it and then be complaining about it. But it's like, you've known you needed a mattress for the long. At least I take responsibility. When did you tell me to get a new phone?
No. I told you to get a new phone in November. It is almost Christmas.
Okay.
And your black ass sorry.
Exactly.
No, you ordered the phone too. And now the phones are back ordered until July because I told you to do it in November because everybody's getting phones right now. So you can't get a phone and you got all these jobs and a kid and you can't even answer the phone. When I need you to pick up the phone.
But what I'm saying, the difference between you and I is you complain and complain. You don't make a commitment. You don't follow through. And then because of that, you still complain. I know my phone is jacked up. If somebody calls, I go, I don't have my earbuds. I can't talk to you. If I can't use the microphone to voice text, I really can't do nothing with this phone. But I'm chill about it because I accept responsibility. It's my fault. So you know what? If we can't, it just don't work. So I don't get stressed about it. I don't complain about my phone. You complain about my phone because it irritates you because you can't get in touch with me.
Can you please give me permission on your Alexa so I can just drop into your house?
I am doing no such thing. I don't want your voice.
Alexa, drop in on Sherri Shepherd. What's this? What's it? She's dropping in on your phone. I've already done. She's dropping in at your house.
How did she
right
drop
now.
in on my stuff?
She's going over to your house right now.
I don't want to hear your voice in my house. I just set up a security system. In my
Alexa,
house.
drop in to Sherri Shepherd. Because at your house right now, guess what it's saying?
What? Jeffrey's home. Don't be scaring him like that.
It's saying Kym Whitley would like to drop in.
Oh my gosh, don't scare my child. He's going to be like, what is going on?
Okay.
I only have 2 comments to read from listeners.
Okay, here we go.
And thank you guys for hanging in there with us. Where's my glasses? I'm
going to go get a bed today.
Sure you are. Sure you are. You're going to be complaining next year.
Is there going to be a new computer too?
And she needed a new computer. That's why we have technical difficulties, because there's a spinning wheel.
That's the problem. The Apple Store is not open.
You can order off the website, and there's always a spinning wheel and frozen, and it's just Kym has like a 12-inch screen or something like that. They don't even make these screens anymore. And you should have had a computer a long time ago with more speed, a big one. It's worth it. It's worth it. You need it. You got a podcast. You Zoom all the time. This should be given away to the lady that comes by and says she gets computers. She gets computers and she refurbishes them. You should give that away. Yes.
There's people that do that?
No.
Okay.
I didn't have anything to say. Yes,
but that's good. Okay, I'm gonna get a new computer today too. I'll put Siobhan on it immediately.
There you go. So
I'll get the computer. I'll get the big old giant fancy computer.
We don't have a Black business to support. Yes, get a big fancy computer because you need it. It's your business. It's like we wear our wigs and our hair. You need it.
Okay.
Because otherwise we're very late for our podcast, and then I don't get to do what I'm supposed to be doing. I had a phone call with a certain gentleman, and I missed it. I just missed it.
Okay.
So,
you know what we do? We can support. There's 2 Black businesses we could talk about. Derek Rutledge I have 2 friends on Oprah's favorite thing list. Simone Smith, this LL Cool J's wife. Her earrings, her jewelry line is absolutely fantastic. And you have Derek Rutledge, his eyelashes. He is a makeup artist to Oprah Winfrey and Simone Smith. So look them up. They have some fantastic items. I bought
a bunch of Simone Smith's jewelry.
Yes, that's all I wear.
Yeah, she's great. And she has like a little lollipop necklace.
Yes, that's what she started because she's a cancer survivor.
Yes, and it's amazing. She is.
I'll send it to you, Chris, some pictures.
Okay. We have two comments from 2 of our listeners. Sierra Shambly said, I'm so happy this came out today. She's talking about the podcast that came out on Thursday. It's my birthday, and I was feeling so sad. This is the 2nd birthday without my twin sister who passed untimely last year in June. This one has hit my soul. I cried when David said he is coming to St. Louis with you all. I live here now, and I am too excited. As I said before, David is one of my favorite comedians. I will be at the big top. I love you all so much. This made my birthday so much brighter. Thank you, Queens. That was Sierra Shambly. And we thank you for listening to our podcast. And thank you for coming to the big top to see us. How about if we give Sierra some tickets, her and a guest? Want to do that? Sierra Shambly. So send us an email at twofunnymamas@gmail.com and just give us your information so that we can set aside a ticket for you and a guest
to come to St. Louis in April.
We're coming in April.
If it's not shut down.
If it's not shut down, we're coming the weekend of April 22nd. Or if I don't find somebody to go to the Bahamas with.
Right.
But we are, and that is real. That's very, very real. If I get a Bahamas.
It's still got COVID there.
Now, you can perform, and then there are flights from St. Louis that can get you to the Bahamas. So you come perform, and then you go to the Bahamas. Okay.
No. I don't have anybody now. If I find somebody for a weekender, I'm using the entire weekend. Do you hear me? So it will be 2 funny mamas with David Arnold, Andre, and Kym. But we would like to offer that to you and a guest, Sierra, and we thank you. This is another one. It's from The Third Will. Oh my God, girl! It's not all about you.
Not third wheel. It's
1
to 3 lines, and then it says will.
Okay.
The third wheel means like I'm the third wheel.
Oh, he's the third wheel. Okay. Oh, so this is from The Third Wheel. He said, oh my God, girl, it's not all about you. You're not the only one. Everything about her. She has to talk her story, her opinion, over-explaining everything, talks over everyone like she's 14 and needs to be the center of attention. If she's not the one talking or explaining, she's not interested. She should have just did a podcast herself alone. Almost a turnoff. Damn, he thinks you are horrible.
No, he thinks you're horrible. No, he thinks you're a mess. What's crazy is there is no name. We don't know who he's talking about.
So I think he's talking about you.
I think he's talking about you.
No, I think he's talking about you.
Will, listen here. Line, will, or I will, or LLL will.
If you got that big of a problem with Kym Whitley,
if you got a problem with
I got a problem with you.
Please leave a comment and let us know who you talking about.
No, we don't need to know. He's talking about you.
No. That is hilarious.
Because I say that to you all the time, Kym. It's not about you.
No, he says like you're 14. You are 14.
No, I'm not 14.
And she has opinion because she was on The View.
I'm very opinionated. And Barbara
and that's what it says. Opinion over explaining everything, talks over everyone.
I do over-explain.
You almost took over Kelly Clarkson's show, didn't you? You didn't follow the rules. So thank you, Will.
That's not
Kelly.
We did the Kelly Clarkson show. Or was it Drew Barrymore? One of those shows.
Every show. Watch Sherri when she goes on these shows.
She said one of those. The white women host circuit. It's one of them.
You know what's so funny?
You, Chris.
My Kelly Clarkson, I have one. I think it's airing in a couple weeks. And Kelly says to me, "When was the last time you wanted a talk show?" I was like, "Now."
Oh, you said it to her and didn't look at her like that?
No, I didn't look at her like that. I love Kelly. I did look at her. Let me tell you. Oh,
and what was her answer? What was her response?
She laughed because it was funny what I said. It was very funny. Kelly Clarkson is going through a divorce. I told her we're going to pray for her. She's going through a divorce. They have like 3 kids.
Yeah. And
her husband, they've been married for about maybe 5 to 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's seeking $453,000 a month in alimony and child support.
That's a lot of money.
She's so stressed out and she's trying to keep quiet, not say anything bad about the father of her, the father to her children. Mm-hmm. She's trying to protect the kids. And, some people feel like, well, Kelly's got the money, she should pay. Because, she got a big deal with The Voice. She's got her talk show.
But
she's
people
got a
stay out my pocket.
But she's got a lifestyle brand in Wayfair. But people feel like men would have to do it. If a man had a $12-15 million deal, then a talk show, he had a lifestyle brand, like if it was Michael Strahan, because he's got like kind of the equivalent.
400 though?
They would feel like if they got 3 kids and they've been, it's kind of weird because he wasn't there when Kelly Clarkson was struggling. So he can't really say, I helped you get to where you are. And by the way, her husband, who she's divorcing, is her manager's son. So I don't know how their relationship is going to be because it's just bad. But, it's not like he married her when she was nobody, like on American Idol.
But that's what I'm telling you. Chris, you ain't getting shit. From me.
Right. That's understood.
You should have been there when I was trying to make it. But now that I'm here, Chris, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get $5.75 a month. Act the fool if you want to.
I'm just here for the company. I get it.
I'm telling you. It's weird because people say, well, they do it to men all the time.
Which is true.
But should you be entitled to, because the man has her soon-to-be ex-husband, has 7 attorneys. So you already know these are like $800 attorneys and you get the junior members, which are $500. If you do one deposition, and I'm saying this because I went through a very expensive divorce. If you do one deposition between you and the husband and your attorneys are there and their attorneys are there, literally that can be a $20,000 day. That the judge might say to Kelly, you have to pay for that because whoever is the majority breadwinner has to pay a lot of these fees. So is it fair? I feel for Kelly because I just don't think a child needs $400,000 to live for 3 kids. No. That's just like money and the lifestyle. Like they're young.
Like Kevin Hart said in his stand-up, it was funniest thing. The kids was mad because they had to take a commercial airline to visit their cousins. He was like, because you with your mama.
If you was with me, we'd be flying in my plane.
Right, but you're with your mother, and that's what it is.
But that's why you have to pay, why people ask for a high amount of child support. Yeah. Because the way it works is the child, if it's supposed to have the same lifestyle at the other parents. And if the other parents are not working, then you have to pay the child support. Right. So it's just, I told her, I said, we're praying for her because it's stressful.
Yeah.
You got to have forensic accountants. You know what if I would do if I was Kelly? I'm not close to Kelly like this. If I was close to Kelly, I would tell Kelly, settle with him.
Settle, yeah.
even though so at that $450,000 a month comes out to roughly like $5 million a year, something like that. Yeah, 4 times 10 is 4 million. Yeah, roughly 5 million, something a year. I would say literally settle with him and give him $30 million.
And be done with it.
And say, I'm going to give you $30 million cash, because like something could happen to her and she might not be able to earn the money. But right now, I'm going to give you $30 million in cash.
Walk away.
And I know this sounds very exorbitant, this amount, but in Kelly's world, it's kind of money she's earning.
Right.
I'm going to give you $30 million. Take it, leave, bye-bye, sign this non-disclosure agreement, confidentiality agreement. I don't ever want to hear from you again. Take the $30 million, shalom, do something smart with it. Because if you stay in court, you're going to be duking this out and look up and have spent $20 million on this. And the judge is going to make you pay a bunch of his attorney's fees.
Yep.
So like settle with them and know. And this is what I told Kelly when I was there. I said, Kelly, God did not bring you this far to let you sit in this place. You're going to go through it, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm here to tell you, because I went through it myself. And she said, thank you. I said, you've got to trust God. But I said, you're going to get, I was telling her, you're going to keep working and you're going to get this money back.
Her biggest hit might not even be written yet.
Exactly. So you're going to make that money back. $30 million. They'll renew your talk show for another 2 or 3 seasons, and you'll get $100 million.
Right.
Like Ellen
you can't live right here in this moment.
So sometimes it's easier.
Because Sherri is making $7 more now.
Literally, I wish that I would have settled with both my husbands. I fought it until the very end because I felt like you're not going to take advantage of me. But I wish that I would have settled, because we would have saved. Literally, I'll go with the first husband. We could have $600,000 could have went to our son.
Yeah,
that could have been Jeffrey's money. And that's what I remember telling the first husband, like, we have a son together, that we spent all of that money on attorneys, and then that could have been Jeffrey's money and their children. They're fine.
Yep.
Both of us broke. You working 3 jobs, I'm working 3 jobs.
Yeah,
what kind of sense is that?
And that's the truth, and that wasn't a joke.
Literally. And so I wish that I would have settled, but that's what I told.
And they wonder why I never got married. I got all my money. You got yours?
And with that, thank you for listening to Two Funny Mamas. If you like any of our merchandise, we're working on making hoodies and some sweatpants.
But we have lots of merchandise right now.
We got lots of merchandise to choose from. Old bitches ain't snitches, coffee mugs. We don't kiss and tell. Yeah. So please go to buyjack, buyjack.com/2funnymamas. And we got Dr. Michelle's site up for anxiety. And this was good.
This was good. Thank you for listening to Two Funny Mamas. Thanks, Chris.
Great show, ladies.
Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas. Two funny mamas.